Hey all, and welcome back for another HellfireComms Patreon Quick Look. Today we're going to be taking a quick glance, a speedy glance, if you will, at Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team for the Nintendo 3DS. This was commissioned by Robert Hollander, and what you say we just get started with this, Tanner?
Yeah, for sure. Have you played the Mystery Dungeon games for Pokemon?
I have played a bit of Super Mystery Dungeon for the 3DS.
Oh, so this is your first time with the OG. Alright.
I do know how these start. You basically answer a bunch of trivia questions, and then it's like, oh, you are a Stunky. I was like, oh, thanks for that.
Well, in this one, you can get all the starters, Eevee, Meowth, Machop, and I think Vulpix. So you got your pick of them.
Alright, why don't we both decide on these together? Do you like to imagine things for your amusement?
I do. I just imagine things when I'm bored.
There is a wallet at the side of the road. Do we turn it into the police? Yay! Is anyone watching?
I like how Nintendo, or rather Spike Chunsoft, doesn't want to, say take the money for yourself, so they just say yay.
Yeah, what do you think, mate?
You know what? I'm a chaotic good Canadian, so I'm gonna say we turn it in.
Fine. Somebody calls you weird but funny. How does that make you feel?
Life's boring if you're not weird, so that makes me happy.
I like how not happy just as a full stop. It's like, no, that's where the book fucking stops, mate. The road forks to the right and left. You are told there is a treasure on the right side. What do you do?
I'm pretty gullible. I'd go right.
Okay, instantly. Not consider it and then go right. Instantly go right. Grab any digit on your left hand with your... Well, this is going to be kind of hard because I'm holding the 3DS with my right hand.
Alright, I'll do it myself. Okay, I grabbed my ring finger.
Okay. You're going bungee jumping for the first time. Do you go A, with a bungee cord, or B, without a bungee cord?
C, I'm a Pidgey.
Good point. Since it's scary, you decide to test the jump with a doll, and the bungee cord snaps. Will you still try to make a jump anyway?
Nope.
I mean, they just told us the bungee cord has snapped, so there's no cord to jump with. You win a lottery. What do you do with the money? Spend it now, save it, or give it away?
I'm pretty safe with my money, I'd save it.
Are you often late for school or meetings? This is very important for you, Tanner.
I arrive an hour early every day for everything, so the answer is no.
He is a good teacher. Are you a boy or a girl?
We will go with boy.
You appear to be, here we go, the docile type.
Oh, every time I get docile! This is where I would restart the game because I hate the docile type in this.
Does it, change anything stat-wise?
The docile is the Pokemon you get, which we'll see in a bit.
Alright, you're very kind-hearted, very helpful. Yeah, that is Tanner, from what I know of him. You can make friends with anyone. You're a wonderful person. That sounds like a little bit of a backhanded compliment, really, when you follow it with ellipses.
Right?
Is that going overboard? I don't think so. You yourself should be the best judge of that. A docile person like you should be. Oh, it's Bulbasaur!
So here's the thing. I'm like, I was with him. I'm like, yeah, docile. Yep, for sure. This all works. And then I got Bulbasaur, and every time I'm like, no, restart. No, I don't want to be Bulbasaur.
Let's see. Choose the Pokemon you want as your partner from this group. So we should choose someone that benefits or, makes up for Bulbasaur's lack of panache. Charmander, Squirtle, Pikachu...
You can't pick another grass type. It has to be another type. And if you are, of course, Bulbasaur, then who is strong against you would be fire. So you should get a partner who is water. Because then that way, they can make up for your weakness.
Alright. I will call this Totodile. Just go ahead and call him Tanner.
Hey, I love Totodile. Was my first starter way back in gold.
Ah, bless. Bless you, you Gen 2 plebistine.
Sorry I wasn't born in the world of Gen 1.
Sorry I wasn't born in the world of Pokemon. Where am I? Oh yeah, this is kind of like an existential crisis sort of series where a human, basically
dies
and winds up being a Pokemon.
Well, every game is different on how the person becomes a Pokemon, but they are all extremely dark and usually end in a way that make people cry. At least for the first two mainline games. This series does have a bit of Paper Mario syndrome, where, like, the first one is great, the second one is, like, an all-time classic, and then things start to go wrong and they kind of forget what the point of the series is. So then everyone's like, just go back to the way the second one was. But those first two are incredible and also really sad.
Aww. This seems like it could have still been on the GBA, which is where the original ones began, I believe.
Well, actually, you're playing Blue Rescue Team here, which is the blue version to Red Rescue Team, which was on the GBA. So they actually they did a version release, but one on the GBA, one on the DS, so that you could play on whichever way you kind of want.
Okay.
And if you put them in together into the system, you got a few link-up stuff.
Neat. Cross-generational stuff like that doesn't really happen anymore, because we already have, like, the services of one home plays.
Yeah, no, I used to like that back in the day, where it was like if you had certain Game Boy Advance games in your DS while you played it, they would affect the games you're playing, like if you had Zero in while playing ZX or something.
Right, my name is... I'm gonna go ahead and say... Tom. I am Tom the Bulbasaur.
And so you like Bulbasaur, right?
Yeah, Bulbasaur's great.
Okay, so you're one of those people, I see.
Huh? Methinks you have a bit of Bulbasaur hatred in your veins.
I just don't get Bulbasaur in a generation that has Charmander.
Ah, I see. You're playing to my sensibilities here, although we have danger now, so we should probably get on point here.
Mm-hmm.
God, I was having so much sex with my butterfree partner, and then something evil came along to stop it.
And I was ready to die right after, as I am an insect with a lifespan of about a week.
Has there been just like a straight up fly Pokemon yet?
Ooh, that's a good... I don't think there has been.
Like, you could easily make it so it's like ghost and poison or something.
Yeah, no, that's actually... Probably because they don't want to render their freaky, like, million-eyed eyes. Scare off the kids.
So I'm trying to, like, go through my mind of, like, the insects we have. We have a butterfly, obviously. We have a moth. We have a bee. Well, Beedrill should technically be a wasp. Let's get it right.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, we do have, like, the actual bees with comb bee. Yeah, no, there's no fly Pokemon. Huh.
We should just jump into that gorge and save the Caterpie. And I will, Tanner. I thought that said Tiny Woods Biff for a second, though.
Yeah, it's what the woods here are named Biff.
Alright, try not to let a partner faint. Okay.
One cool thing about the Mystery Dungeon series is it is a series that is almost, in my eyes, like a Muso, where once you know how to play one, you can play any of them, and, you know, the gameplay still sticks through. So how it works is, basically, it is turn-based, and every time you do anything, then everyone else on the entire dungeon will take their turn.
Okay.
What I would actually recommend is opening up your menu and starting to use some of your moves, because your A attack is basically your, when I don't have any moves to do, it is just your default sort of nothing attack. But your tackle is your actual, you know, starting attack that does damage.
Okay, we'll just keep on using tackle.
One thing you can do is if in the menu you hit set, you can make it so you can just hold R1 and hit A and it becomes like your default move.
Ah, okay.
Or, no, R1, sorry, R.
Don't know why I did that. I'm just getting used to the controls, it's fine. Turn to face, do that, and then that. Yay, I win! I took a fuckload of the damage though.
Yeah, so Mystery Dungeon games have a steep learning curve in terms of kind of how they work. You have 1, regenerating HP, 2, again, it has the system of every time you take a step, everyone in the dungeon takes a step. You have to open up your menu for almost every attack, again, unless you use the set button. You have limited inventory, and of course, it's called Mystery Dungeon because every dungeon is fully randomized.
Okay, yeah.
There's usually a set of rooms and a set of enemies, but for the most part, they're random dungeons that can lead to some, let's say, unfair scenarios occasionally.
Yeah, that's just RNG for you, really.
So, this is a love-hate relationship some people have with this series. I know, for one, the admin of Cerebi.net absolutely hates this series because he's like, if he wants to report on it for his website, and by doing so, he has to do these dungeons that are just, like, the most tedious, most difficult things. So he hates it, but I think it's, for me, something fun to sit down with and just grind away at.
Yeah, it does seem like a very, for lack of a better word, casual sort of game.
It's actually very hardcore, but it's you can just kind of chill out and play it. So your actual destination is, if you look on your mini-map there, it is that blue square.
You got it.
That is the stairs to the next floor. You're always looking for the stairs, because you're trying to get to either the lowest of the low of your dungeon or the highest of the high.
I got you. Oh shit. Foes won't move until you do. Open the menu with B and think before you act.
So if you want to just face an enemy because you have to, I think you can do it with the L button. That will make it so that you will just turn around and face them.
Alright, I pressed B. It didn't really seem to do anything.
It should just open up your menu. If it is B, I don't know, the default controls might be a bit different than what might have been on this save file.
You went up a level. Huzzah!
Yay, now I can punch things slightly harder.
Always a good thing. God, are you done leveling up yet? Jesus Christ. Yeah. I'm using the touchpad here to get shit done.
Oh yeah, that works. I usually just, because I started with the Game Boy Advance version, so for me it was, I would have to use the menus and everything. The only real difference between the versions is, like, the top screen there with all the information is not there in the other version. You can actually change it though, so like the map is at the top. It's pretty customizable.
Oh, okay, so you just have to tap B a couple of times. That's much easier, actually. There you go. Now I don't have to use the bottom screen anymore.
So yeah, the stairs was in the other room there if you wanted to go check it, but, of course, being a dungeon here, there are items to find, or a dead end, as it be.
I pressed the A button like it were a regular Pokemon's game. There you go. Just a regular attack. Why are you using absorption moves on a fucking grass type? We'll never know.
To be fair, it is Sunkern, who is statistically the weakest Pokemon of all time, and I think that includes their intelligence.
Wow, rude.
It's a sunflower seed. If you were to ask me the IQ of a sunflower seed, I would say it's pretty low.
Hold B, then press A to recover HP quickly on the spot.
So it's basically, they regard it as walking in place, because walking is one way that you can regain your HP, so by walking in place, you regain your HP.
I got you. Restores HP, open the menu, got it.
So one fun gameplay mechanic using berries and later on seeds is that they can be thrown to have someone forcibly eat them.
Aww.
So if you get a seed that you want to heal your partner with, you just throw it at their face and they eat it. If you get a berry that deals damage, you throw it at an enemy's face and they eat it.
Alright, now I got Leech Seed, so the meta is opening up a little bit.
Pretty much every single Pokemon move in the mainline games is here. And they all have different functions. Some will hit more than one space away, some will hit for multiple times. The really strong ones are the ones that hit the entire room of enemies, which is really good when you get a thing called a monster room, which is basically, you've walked into a room, here's about 30 enemies that fall from the ceiling that will all attack you. It's terrifying. Seeing, it's a monster room is like heart attack inducing in later levels.
Aww, look at the guy. Aww.
This is an actual baby. So one really cool thing that I think this game addresses is when it gets to stuff about, like, when a Pokemon evolves, its name changes, right? And so they go into like, hey, it's Baby Teddy Ursa. And he's like, I'm no longer Baby Teddy Ursa. I'm now Ursa Ring. And he's like, that's going to get a bit of getting used to.
Yeah, a little bit. So I wonder what's causing all these fishes and whatnot.
If only there was some large Pokemon that we know who uses earthquakes to change the world. It's probably Kyogre.
Possibly. You know, the ground-type Pokemon Kyogre.
Exactly.
This Bulbasaur looks a bit weird. I think he's a bit too pale.
Yeah, the color scheme on the Bulbasaur almost looks like they mistakenly put it in the shiny color scheme, of which there are no shiny Pokemon in the game.
Aww. Yeah, it's good. It's a good experience.
It's very self-fulfilling. You help other people, and they will turn around and help you.
Yeah, or they'll backstab you, one of the two.
Yeah, but in the Pokemon world, there's no such thing as, oh wait, there's literally a type called Dark that are known for backstabbing.
Yeah, but at least we have the promised Oran Berry. Thank you so much. Goodbye! And off they go. That Caterpie is almost as big as that Butterfree.
They don't actually address if these Pokemon still lay eggs, though.
Yeah, I'm just as confused as you, Bulbasaur, honestly.
So this is one of those games where your protagonist is a silent protagonist, but they think to themselves a lot, which I think is a weird choice.
How do the team bases work in this game, exactly?
It's just your home. You do get to kind of, well, I don't say customize, but upgrade it later to resemble you, which is a bit strange to walk into a giant Bulbasaur.
Yeah, it's like, would you live in a house that was shaped like a human?
Actually, if it was shaped like a giant me, I probably would.
Wait, when you say me, do you mean the Nintendo thing, or just you, Tanner the human?
No, me, Tanner the human. If there was just a bunch of houses lined up and one of them just looked like a giant effigy of me, I'd be sure.
Aw.
It would make telling people to get to my house easier, because I'd say, you'll know it when you find it.
It looks like me. My god, are you gonna be like burned alive inside that? No. We're just gonna have a cup of tea, it's fine. So I guess it's up to us, a mere Bulbasaur and Totodile, to solve these problems within the space of a quick look.
And one thing that's actually kind of crazy is you are not able to evolve Pokemon until the post-game. So meaning, yes, a mere Bulbasaur will go on a journey to save the world.
I was wondering if you could evolve your, like, own self and whatnot. Form a rescue team or refuse.
Well, I think we need to form a rescue team.
Fine, just the two of us, you and I. Yeah. Oh god, now we actually have to come up with a name.
So I think the canon name is Team Go-Getters, but that's boring. What should we be?
Let's have a look here. Let's see. Is there like a hyphen in Go-Getters?
There is. It would be Go-Getters.
Okay. You watch, I'm remixing this for the new millennium.
Ooh, I see what you're doing. Okay. Getters. Getters done.
Yeah. It's sort of a good name. Never trust ellipses. It could mean many various things.
Well, it depends on how many there are. If there's like 3, it's usually okay. But if there's 2 or 5, that's when you're in trouble.
Oh, problems perhaps? And that is how Tom and Tanner began their careers together. Aww. As a rescue team. Okay. Can you imagine if it just said as a let's play team?
Yeah, right? It's like, oh, are we in the video game?
I think we are.
Be careful, Tom. If you die in the game, we die in real
life. Oh, Jesus. We're on the same wavelength here. Alright, I think I can fit in another dungeon before we're good here. Because we finally, we've gotten to grips with the gameplay and whatnot. I actually know how to do things now. This whole place is just grass.
It's a little naturalistic. The word is regio.
Despite everything, I'm still Bulbasaur.
God, what a nightmare.
Do you remember the Mystery Dungeon anime?
Yeah, they produced a couple anime specials. There was one for this, and then one for the sequel, which is Explorers of Darkness there. And then they actually produced a few others for then the updated version, Explorers of the Sky, which went into, instead of just covering the early game again, they went into, let's go into the super dark and depressing stuff near the end of the game, which was wild.
Oh no. That does sound like quite a trip, honestly.
It also had, I think, Dan Green voicing Grovyle, which is pretty dope.
She was like, Grovyle, Grovyle.
Oh, no, remember, they speak. So it's just a Yugi voice coming out of Grovyle, which is pretty good.
Oh, that's right. See, he is talking to himself here.
Yeah, but then as soon as another person's in the room, it's like, it's done. He's like, it's in the mind.
Okay. What is Tanner doing right now? What are you doing, Tanner, exactly?
Sipping coffee, sitting here, being comfy.
Ah, I see. Sleeping on the job, I see. You are such a totodile. This is perfect.
Just sleeping outside, as I do.
Yep, haha, sorry. Didn't mean to take a nap in our fucking driveway.
I just thought it would be weird if we were in the same room.
Anyway, let's just ignore
Yeah,
that.
let's ignore the fact that I slept outside.
Okay, so I assume we're gonna get, like, missions and whatnot. This is starting a lot quicker than Super Mystery Dungeon did.
Yeah, this one goes pretty much right into it right away. Later ones go more into the, giving you a tutorial because they realized, oh wait, most children who play this don't know what a Mystery Dungeon game is, because that's a genre that was pretty much only in Japan.
Yeah, that's true. It, like, threw me into it with no, like, movement or, like, button tutorials whatsoever.
Like, there's been Mystery Dungeon games since the Super Nintendo in Japan, and there are a whole series. There's, Shiren the Wanderer, there's, Izuna, there's, Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon on the PS1 and now on our systems, and they all feature essentially the same gameplay, too. The only difference is, what's the theme you're going for? There are a few occasional differences, too, in terms of how sort of, the overworld works, but for the most part, you know one, you know them all. It's like a Muso, if you will.
Yeah. So we've got a toolbox, we've got a badge back there, this is where we'll be keeping all our items and whatnot. Yeah.
So the cool thing about the badge is it's like, as you progress through the game, you get more rescue points, you get a better badge, and it goes from like red, blue, orange, bronze, silver, gold, diamond, and then the top rank, tougher than diamond, is apparently Lucario.
Oh.
Because this is before Gen 4, and so they're like, the strongest rank is a Pokemon you've never even heard of before. And you're like, whoa!
That is pretty strong, honestly.
Yeah, and like, you just see him walk into town at one point. You can't play with him or can't play as him. He just walks into town, and people are like, yo, it's Lucario. He's the best. And then you just are told you must achieve the rank of Lucario.
I don't like Pelipper giving us the mail and whatnot. It's like, oh, here comes the postman.
Yeah, it's like, hey Pelipper, what's up? And then just all these letters fly out.
Oh good, another bill, thanks fucker.
It's slightly damp too.
There is a warning tag on the side of the mailbox. Open the mailbox at the front, do not do it from the side, for the love of God.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
We checked the mailbox. I thought we got another Totodile for a second there, I should really pay attention. Come on, what's it say? Tom read the letter. Interesting how he can read Pokemonese now.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that I think it implies Pokemon have their own entire language.
Magnemite is in trouble. Okay, this will be the thing we close out the Quick Look with. And it stuck together Magnemite and Magnemite until a Magneton was formed. Okay, not enough to form a Magneton. It's not complete the way it is now. From Magnemite's friend. Aww.
So we actually get to see 2 Magnemites stuck together, and it's weird because I think it implies once the 3 stick together, their consciousness combines into 1 and makes Magneton, but 2 of them don't do that.
Hey guys, how you doing? Can you not do that, please? Like, we're not playing Animal Crossing right now. Oh man, we're recording this like a couple of days before E3. I hope Animal Crossing is at least in trailer form.
I'm sure it will be, because where else would it be if it's coming out this year?
Like, you don't need to play that on the show floor or anything, it's already confirmed it's not there, like, demo-wise, but still.
Yes, some people are like, oh, that means it's cancelled, and I'm like, what? No.
Using moves instead of A attacks for more EXP points, you got it.
Yeah, your A attack should only be used if you're, like, drastically over level compared to everyone else, or you're out of moves. It is very weak and does not, is not super good. Oh, hey, we got a first introduction to seeds, though. Seeds are, used for a variety of things. A blast seed will either, if you eat it, it will let you do a elementalist fireball move, which does, like, usually a good amount of damage to stuff, but the better use of it is to go into your items while facing an enemy who can be tiles away, and you chuck it at their face to make it explode in their face.
Nice! I'm going to use that on the boss, of which I assume we're going to be fighting a boss before the end of this.
I don't know. Okay, here's another thing that I forgot about, rocks. So rocks are an item that what you can do is if you go into your items and hit set, you can press L and R to throw a rock, which is very useful if there's an enemy far away from you. You can just throw it way across the screen at them and deal damage even if they're, 4 or 5 tiles away.
Where the fuck are you running to, boy? Get back here.
So remember, Poochyana's ability is Runaway, which means that when he takes enough damage, he's like, no, I'm out of here. And there's no way to get, unless he gets trapped, but, because, you walk at the same speed.
There we go. He's dead. And I grew to level 8. Yeah, all my stuff went up. Good stuff. And Rattata is also dead. And
I'm leveling up.
And you got rage.
And I've learned to get angry.
Just like in real life. Actually, you're pretty even-tempered, honestly.
You have not seen me once there's no donuts left at Tim Hortons.
Oh no! When a Canadian runs out of Tim Hortons, then the world shall end.
The geese fly away, the moose flee. It's the Canadian rage.
Choose a partner with a team command and set its tactics and IQ skills. Cooperation with partners is the key. I'm good right now, honestly.
So one thing you can do is, like, for example, when I played this game, once my partner started getting, like, all these stat-based moves or status ailment moves, I would not want them to use it on every wild enemy because you're kind of wasting your time with them.
Yeah.
So then I would just tell it, like, hey, don't just use the stat moves, and then I would turn them on for the bosses because there's no real point.
It's pretty easy going so far. Not too big of a deal.
So you can hold B, and you'll like snap. Yeah,
Whoa.
You'll snap through a room, which can let you go really fast. Like through these hallways, you can just snap through them like da da da, which is good for getting through things quickly. But it's bad for you cannot physically keep track of what's happening.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when Ultra Instinct comes into play, mate. You know?
Right? Yeah, you're moving like they do.
More berries. Just put them all in the toolbox and whatnot. Oh, jeez.
There is a cap on how many items you can hold, which does get a bit annoying, but at the same time, it's like, it makes sense because they don't want you to just be roaming floors all the time and stacking up on, for example, an item that revives you.
Let's see. Items. I'm gonna use a blast seed. Throw. Get fucked. Oh, and he's running away.
He hates it.
And he's dead now.
So, we're not going to get to it to show it off, but how this game actually works for recruiting Pokemon, because you can then later on get as you can see, a 3rd and 4th party member up there, is kind of interesting. You basically have to buy the rights to their habitat.
Huh?
And then once you buy the rights to their habitat, you have a chance upon killing them for them to beg for mercy to join your team.
Oh no.
So it's like, okay, I'm gonna buy the power plant. And then when you kill a Magnemite, they're like, please, no, I'll live on your land. And then you say yes, and then you actually have to escort them out of the dungeon, which is annoying because they'll have low HP at that time. And then you take them out, and they're like, hey, cool, okay, come talk to me when you need to. And then that's about it. So, those are trap tiles, although in this case that's a helpful trap, it just gets rid of debuffs, which is useful. But there are some trap tiles that aren't good. There's ones that you step on that are invisible, that make you fall asleep. There's ones that make you hungry, which really suck. There are ones that attract enemies, and there's ones that will just teleport you away from your partner, which really sucks because on their own they may die.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Ah, we made it. Look at them there. Wonderful. Lovely jubbly.
Alright. Are we ready to surgically remove them?
Our bodies separated all on their own. You didn't have to do anything. Yay!
So it is actually kind of neat that every Pokemon species in this game has an Animal Crossing like speech thing where all the Magnemites are in all caps and say bzz bzz bzz, and they actually, if you talk to them in a dungeon, they will actually respond always with that talk. So all up to Gen 3 have unique speech patterns, which is kind of cool.
Aww. Yeah, that was a pretty successful day. Imagine if it did go well. They would have just been stuck like that forever.
Yeah, that would suck. Then they'd have to find a third, and if it's not someone they want, then it'd get real awkward.
Yeah, well, there'll be one consciousness by that point, so it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, but it'd be one consciousness that feels like something's just wrong.
Yeah, just wrong. Yes, I would like to save my adventure, thank you. Yeah. I'm just sleeping like a Bulbasaur would. Oh no, we've entered the D dimension. D stands for dream.
I'm having one of those bulb dreams.
Where? Oh god, did I get high off my own fumes? Oh wait, no, that's like Gloom and Foul Plume.
It's like, what? Am I a special Bulbasaur whose seed grows some marijuana?
Oh. Can you imagine a Venusaur with just a weed leaf?
Just a huge weed leaf on the back.
Oh lordy.
No, that's in Digimon where Weedmon exists.
Are you for fucking serious?
I'm so serious, and it literally has green leaves, and it's the most amazing thing.
Whatever, it's fine. Ah, I dreamt something. Certainly dreamt something. I couldn't tell what it was though.
The dreams will become a very important plot point much later on.
Oh, I see. Well, another day of rescues is ahead of us, but as for Tanner and I, our job in the Mystery Dungeon universe is done. Unless you guys want to see more. Who knows, maybe we could play some more on stream or as a full playthrough, but we already have the 10 legendary playthroughs that are still to come from the last poll we did. So, here's everyone who is currently pledged. If you want us to cover a game of your choice as a quick look, minimum 20 minutes, you can go ahead and pledge to us on patreon.com/HellfireComms. Every penny helps to support the group, and the pledge is mostly used to pay for the game itself. So we're using this money that we're given to basically, buy equipment and stuff, and just keep the group running, because YouTube don't do what it used to in regards to revenue, and that's all I can say for now without getting a slap on the wrist. So yeah, thank you very much, Rob, for suggesting this game, and I've had fun with this, and I would like to see more of it, but that's for you guys to decide. So we'll see you next time for another HellfireComms Patreon Quick Look. Bye bye.
Ciao.